has, and you'll have the opportunity to take advantage of it in our Agent X program. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Justin Benson. Justin, buddy, the floor is yours.
It's mine. Okay, so thank you guys for having me. Quite the intro on that side. Neil, great to see you again. I think I see Keith. I don't know if Keith's actually in that room over there, but I see Keith Thompson in a female in a conference room, which is definitely not Keith. So, but first of all, this agent.
Hi,
Oh,
my
there we
name's
go.
Jessica. I work next to Keith and Randy and Matt, and I love it here. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, great to meet you officially. Keith and Randy are awesome people. I've known them for, the better part of almost 5 years at this point. So it's been fun to see the growth of your guys' company. And honestly, you guys are one of the organizations that is continuing to kick ass and take over the world. So it's an honor to even be here in the first place. And this Agent X program, when Robert was telling me about it, was such a cool representation of full realty services, like dedication to like growing agents and helping people actually accomplish their goals and doing what they said they were going to do, which was cool alignment because our like top core value over here at Shilo is do what you say you're going to do, right? So that matters a lot to me, and I'm excited to be part of a community that like actually does that. So my goal today is to unpack what Shilo is, because it's going to be accepted, you guys, through the Agent X program, and I'm very excited about that. And this is not something that is going to take over your life. It's not a piece of tech that's going to take 3 months to implement. It literally is going to come out of the box being awesome for you guys. And at the core of what Shilo is, there was one problem. There was one kind of simple idea that we had, is that conversations are everything, right? I'm not just the tech guy. I actually scaled a team across 3 states that sold about 1,000 houses a year. So I sold 400 some odd homes before I got out of production. So I know what it's like to be an agent, a TC, team leader, and ISA. I've been all of the positions that there are to be inside of real estate organizations. So I understand the pain points that exist. And conversations we know we're in a relational industry, right? We know that conversations matter, but conversations are, for the most part, invisible, right? Like how we know that, let's unpack it this way. We can, let's say I'm going to sit down and coach an agent. Like I'm just going to use Robert, even though he doesn't need any coaching because Robert's like the king of the universe over there. But the reality is that like
Checks in the mail.
I can sit down and I can coach Robert on his activities. Hey, Robert, okay, we can backwards compute our pipeline. You want to close this many deals, so we know we need to have this many appointments, which is this many calls, which is this many leads, for example, right? But nothing is more frustrating than making all of those calls and the result doesn't show up on the backside, right? So the activity does not equate to performance. And that performance part, like how did the conversation go? What are best practices? How could I improve? How can that's an absolutely unsolvable problem before AI, right? Because Robert and Neil and Keith and all of these experts that are on this call can't sit on every single phone call with you through every second of the day and give you that feedback. It's literally impossible. But now you have an assistant that is able to do that for you, and that's Shilo. So I guess at the core of what this means is on Friday last week, we actually you guys are showing up at the right time, because over the past calendar year alone, Shilo has analyzed the equivalent of 13 years of continuous talk time. So you heard me correctly, 13 years, not weeks, months, days, organization, 13 years of nonstop talking Shilo has analyzed. And we just got done retraining and relaunching Shilo to be version 3.0, which is the smartest version that it's ever been before. And why does that matter to the people that are listening on this call? That matters because we know exactly what converts. We know what to say, what not to say, how to reframe that objection into something that could be helpful, how to de-escalate that person whenever they were maybe nervous during the inspection periods. We don't guess at that data. We know exactly what will convert. And we have an extremely proven track record here at Shilo that if you just follow what Shilo says, your conversion rate for appointment set will increase, no doubt about it, right? A good example is like Kyle Whistle's team, big EXP, #1 on the planet. They increased their conversion rates by 146%. Appointment set rate increased by 146% 1.5% over a 4-month span of them utilizing Shilo. And you wouldn't think that the #1 EXP team on the planet had that much juice to squeeze out of it. And guess what? It sure did, actually, right? Because we have some interesting data points. Over those 13 years of conversations, 83% of them ended without a clear next step. That's 1.7 million missed opportunities right there alone, right? So as agents, we don't need more leads. We need to have better conversations. But how do we know how to have better conversations? And that's what Shilo is going to do for us. So any questions on that? I mean, if you guys have questions, go ahead and throw them into the chat. I will do my best to like keep an eye on that as I go through things. But this definitely doesn't need to just be like the Justin Talking Head show over here. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, you guys can see everything. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see. Yeah, I love whoever Janella is. I love seeing all those people in that conference room. That's awesome. Hey guys.
Can you make
I
your
see,
letter a
like-
little larger?
Well, larger. Sure. Let's see. Is that better for you?
Yes.
Like that?
Yep.
No. As before.
Before? Okay, let me see how big I can make this happen. I'm zooming to.
There you go.
150% at this point.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you guys with all of the nitty gritty details of Shilo. What I want to do is show you guys the stuff that matters to you, right? So let's start by hitting at the point of knowing how well we are doing in our conversations. Shilo's core metric is this call rating. I am logged into a live account. This isn't demo data. This is Levi Rogers, like 350 agents out in San Antonio, Texas, right? So how do we know how we are doing on these calls? Well, Shilo's call coaching system, it all revolves around the star rating. And the star rating is from 1 to 5, right? And I'll peek into an individual call here in just a second, but it's very, very important for you guys to understand how Shilo is rating calls. So 1 to 5, there's clear differentiation of how this would actually go down. It's funny, somebody's drawing on it. Good job, Bianca. I think that was the name that I saw down there. Anyways, Shilo's taking into consideration a myriad of things in its assessment of handing out a rating for a call. But if you generalize all of that stuff into 3 categories, there's 3 things that Shilo wants you to know and wants you to really nail on every phone call. So if you don't hear anything else from me today, this is the thing that you need to remember, is that Shilo cares about these 3 things: your ability to inspire confidence and build trust with the other human being you are speaking to. That is arguably the most important thing that we do. Another one of those crazy stats is that 62% of the calls that happened in those 13 years of conversations offered no clear value to the end consumer because agents were being note takers. They were not being subject domain experts like we should. And building confidence and trust with somebody comes with having the confidence to ask questions, to actually show the objections that they have. Because when we actually solve an objection, a problem for somebody, we become their trusted partner, right? So that's the first category. The second one is your ability to handle objections and answer questions without being overly salesy or saying things that are not true. If you said something like, oh yeah, we could get you locked down for a 1.5% interest rate, Shilo's going to give you coaching feedback to say, that's not possible. You shouldn't say things like that to people. Also, it doesn't want you using a bunch of complicated technical jargon that, real estate jargon that nobody knows. Professionals can answer questions in a succinct and direct way. It actually shows that you're a professional. And then the third thing Shilo cares a heck of a lot about is keeping sales momentum moving forward with a next step at all times. Shilo does not like undefined next steps. It doesn't like things like, hey, Robert, let's just check in next week sometime. Or, hey, let's touch base when your timeline gets a little closer. Shilo hates that. Shilo wants you to have a firm, committed next step because that's the best version of keeping momentum rolling forward. So a 1 to 2 rated call means that the person failed at 1 or 2 or all 3 of those categories. But a 3-star call means that we checked off all 3 categories at an intermediate level. But maybe one of those undefined next steps were in there. Okay, Shilo's going to give us coaching feedback back, which I'll show you in just a second, that says, hey, Justin, what you should have said was not, hey, Robert, I'm going to send you all these homes and let's just make sure that we touch base next time and schedule time to go take a peek at those. No, Shilo's going to give me coaching feedback that says, Justin, what you should have said was, hey, Robert, in 15 minutes, I'm going to send you these listings and I'm pretty wide open Thursday and Friday. Let's just get a time on the calendar now to go see your top 2 or 3 homes. That's really our best next step, right? That would historically move that call to a 4. And now the difference between your 4s and 5s. I want to point this out. In Levi's organization, they've made almost 5,000 calls in the past 30 days. If I look at the type 5-star callers over here, there's really only about 30, maybe 30, 35-star calls that happened out of 5,000 conversations. It is not easy to get a 5-star call. It's worth celebrating. It's worth bragging to other people. We knew that another large team said they knew it was working when they heard 2 agents talking crap to each other in the hallway, and the other agent responded with, yeah, well, how many 5-star calls did you have last week? Yeah, that's right. Come back to me when you have some more 5-star calls. It's healthy competition. It's great, right? And the reason why they're so hard to hit, because now we've departed from setting appointments and things like this. We are now talking about soft skills, your ability to anchor positive emotions, mirror cadences of the people you're speaking to, manage your own emotional state, because Shiloh's aware of the tone of voice that you're using, not just the words that you're using, right? So let's say that Robert was a first-time home buyer, right? In this example that I've been using. If I wanted to get that to a 5-star call, then the way that I do it is this. I say, all right, Robert, I got us all penciled in for Thursday at 1 o'clock. I'm excited to meet you, man, but honestly, I'm way more excited that the days of you patching holes in a house that you don't even own and like praying to God that you get your security deposit back, like those days are done. So I'm excited to guide you through that. And I know you got a ton of questions. And what we're going to do is at the house, whenever we meet on Thursday, is that I'm going to walk you through all the next steps. So that way you feel like you're in the driver's seat of this whole thing. Sound good? Okay. So let's unpack that. Why did that deserve a 5-star call? Because I'm not just making jokes about first-time home ownership, whatever. I've elevated that conversation from talking about 123 Main Street to the pride and excitement of first-time home ownership. I anchored a much stronger positive emotion to that conversation, which builds rapport and also greatly decreases the chance of that person no-showing me, which is the freaking worst of getting ready for an appointment and the person just doesn't show up. Like, how rude. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let me dive into an individual call to kind of prove it to you. So let's see here. We don't have demo data, by the way. I just try to pull up like a real life conversation to show you that I'm not making stuff up. Told to clear. It's an interesting one. Let's see. Yeah, sure. Let's take a peek at this one. So real live conversation. We are face to face with one call. This is as zoomed in as we can possibly get in the system, right? So from here, within you guys, literally hanging up the phone in Follow Up Boss, Shiloh's going to do this automatically. There's nothing that you guys need to do. You do not have to worry about anything at all. So Shilo will do all of this for you, and this will be done within about 30 seconds. So a star rating was assigned to this call. This happened about a little less than an hour ago. We see the lead source, the stage in which this call was placed, the CRM stage, because the model is taking into consideration the stage, and then the summary and outcomes and call metrics. So a couple things to notice on the outcomes here is that Shilo is automatically logging these outcomes. So on this one, the appointment was not set. They didn't ask for an appointment, but they did have a next step created. But that next step was undefined, meaning it did not have a firm time and date. Shilo does not like that. If it was defined, this would have said next step defined. Shilo knows when you get negative feedback, positive feedback. So all of those outcomes will post as they are relevant to the call. And then on the bottom side, yeah, we have talk to listen ratio, how many questions were asked, all of that good stuff. But the meat and potatoes is going to be over here. So one thing that's fun is you have the entire transcript here. You can search it by whatever words you want. Shilo will also be highlighting the objections that happened on this call and any keywords that happened, so we can get to those moments really fast and we can listen back to the call. But this is the stuff that people care about. The agent coaching section is tied to this call rating over here. So if I hover over this 3-star call rating, it's going to tell me what model was used to grade it, meaning the licensed sales model, and what was Shiloh's reason for giving this a 3-star call. This is literally the AI explaining itself, right? So, okay, cool. Should have, acknowledged credit timing, offered to create a property search, but no defined appointment or concrete next step. Like, all right, so strengths, here's some stuff that happened, and here are the things that probably Andrew could have done to increase his call rating. But this is what's behind it. Most people are going to read this and go, that's cool, but like how? I need to know how to do this is my problem. So we come over here to the agent coaching, and this is where we unpack the how. So the top moments, as you can see, +1, +1, +1, that equals 3. So these top moments will always equate to what your call rating was on that call, right? To make it very clear, these are the things that you did on this conversation that gave you this call rating in the first place. And we're going to cite exactly how that happened. And then to improve. All right, as you can see, how do I get to a 5-star? +1, +1. That all equals 5, right? So now I know if I wanted this call to be a 5-star call, I needed to implement a couple of these things here, right? And we're not just going to tell you what went wrong on the call. We're going to explain how you could do better, right? So confirm a specific follow-up appointment or checkpoint, right? So sometimes an appointment is not, it's not appropriate, right? Maybe somebody's a month out, 2 months out, whatever, but we should still have like a very firm committed checkpoint in the middle. So instead of like convert the I'll text you plan into scheduling a micro commitment. And here's an example script. Hey, does that timeline make sense? Let's book a 15-minute check-in in 2 weeks from today to review what's active and adjust the search. Does Tuesday at 11 or Thursday at 4 p.m. work better for you? I'll text you a reminder the day before. Right? This would have caused us to get something on the calendar to make sure that we have momentum and commitment to keep going. That would have moved us closer to a 5 out of 5. And then collect complete buyer criteria and confirm contact permissions, right? So we could have, what Shilo is saying here is that we didn't gather any specifics, right? Hey, before I text, here's a quick question so I can build the right search. What's your target price range, minimum beds, baths, any deal breakers, which neighborhoods do you prefer? And also, do you prefer texts or calls or like emails? And is it okay that is it okay if I pull that property address from your lender's notes, or would you rather would you rather text it to me now, right? So let's dive a little bit deeper into the wants and needs of what this person is looking for. And then finally, when possible, we are going to be giving some advanced things. So this is Jedi mind trick type stuff, neuro-linguistic programming. So using future-paced affirmations. Okay, so what does that mean? It is using assumptive language, right? So instead of phrasing things as, well, if your credit score reaches this or whatever, we're gonna start using more assumptive language. Like, hey, when your credit score reaches 637 and we start touring houses, you'll already have a tailored list built out of your favorites, which will help us move more quickly, right? So we are anchoring the benefit of getting all of this done for them while they're in process to getting there, which is really awesome. And now finally, how do I practice this, right? Am I just supposed to like memorize this for next time, or like what am I supposed to do? Well, Shilo gives you the ability to role play these conversations. And one of my favorite things that we tell agents to do is when you start your day, before you make calls, it's like our head of client success, April, likes to use like the first pancake syndrome analogy. Like the first pancake always sucks, right? Like it's always flat. It's not the best pancake. Like the best pancake is the second or third pancake once that pan gets warmed up correctly. So when we go to make calls, let's practice. Let's warm up first. So you can come into Shilo and have Shilo tell you exactly what calls you need to focus on, role play a couple of those calls before you go live, and then walk into true conversations, real conversations with real clients, warmed up, ready to go. So let me show you an example of that. If I click role play right here, what Shilo just did was it ingested all of this conversation, the tone, the objections, the everything that happened. And I have my agent coaching here, and it's gonna allow me to try this conversation again and see if I can improve. So check this out.
Ring, ring.
Hey, Tanisha, this is Justin with the Levi Rogers Group. How you doing?
Hey, Justin. I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. I was just calling to check back in. I know that you spoke with the lender, and I wanted to figure out how that conversation went and see how I could help.
Oh, yeah. I did talk to him. He mentioned that I have to wait a bit because I recently paid something off. So I need to wait maybe 2 weeks to 30 days for that to reflect on my credit. Once it does, my score should be at a 637.
Okay, so I'm going to pause in the middle of this. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you guys with a long 3-minute role play call. But one thing that I wanted to show you is that we are having a version of this conversation again, right? It's not verbatim. It's not exactly the same, but the same objections, the same issues that came up in this call will still show up, but maybe not in the same order, because I want to make sure that you guys stay on your toes when you role play this stuff, right? And when I got to, okay, let's see here, complete the buyer criteria and confirm contact permission, okay, great. I could dive into that. And the reason I can pause here is because sometimes we don't know if that objection gets thrown our way. I don't want to you don't practice at full speed all the time. You practice at half speed first, right? You learn how to exercise that muscle. And then from there, you kind of progress into full speed. So this allows me to pause this role play and go, okay, what did it tell me that I should have said? Okay, I can kind of gather myself and, implement that feedback that Shilo is giving me. And then at the very end of this, I can end this and submit this role play. And you'll get to see, okay, here's in Levi's org, it looks like he's got a huge new onboarding class over here. So Rebecca Elmore, oh, this is awesome. So she role played a call. Her original call was a 3. She got to a 5-star call. So way to go, Rebecca. But however, let's say that you didn't role play perfectly, right? Let's say that you got to a 4 instead of a 5. Shilo's going to give you coaching back. This is not the original coaching. This is now the coaching on your role play call of that original call. So now you can see, okay, Shilo's saying that this is the one thing that she missed. So let's just go ahead and retry that role play again and see if I can implement that, right? So it allows this really awesome ability for you guys to role play these conversations before you actually go live into the field. And the best way to find those conversations is going here. So when you guys are logged in, you are going to not see all of this stuff that I'm showing you here. You are going to see, I don't know, let's grab, sure, Tracy over here. So if I grab Tracy, I can see, if your name was Tracy in this organization, you were logged into Shilo, you would come straight here to your agent coaching profile. And what's beautiful about this is that you can see Tracy's average call rating is interesting. Also, whoever's coloring on the screen, I like your additions to the artwork here. These green lines are definitely not a part of Shilo's interface, just to let you guys know. Somebody is coloring on the share screen. So you'll see your average call rating, you'll see your top lead sources, your top keywords that you're mentioned, your top objections, and you can filter it by like any of these calls. So I could go through here and I could go, okay, I just want to look at my calls really quick where the outcome was appointment not set, and I did not set a defined next step, for example. Okay, cool. I'm going to look for and, click apply. And then I go over to my calls tab and, well, it looks like only one call fits that bill right now for her. I can pick up that call, grab it, and role play that and go, okay, let's just try this real quick and make sure that we do a better job moving forward on this one, right? And here's a real fun one, is if I click on Shilo's Insights, what Shilo's going to do, oops, actually, let me refresh. I need to clear my filter there. Clear. Click on Shilo Insights. So what Shilo is doing right now, and it's going to take up to 60 seconds for this to appear. What Shilo is doing is it's reading through all of the calls that I have selected here for Tracy. So all 117 calls. And what Shilo is going to end up showing up with is the top moments and top improvements across all of those conversations, right? So that way I can literally just log in, come here, click on Shilo Insights to start today and see, hey, there I'm shining. And this is where I really need to be focusing on improving without really having to miss a beat. So now Tracy can come in here and go, okay, she actually is doing a good job setting clear and specific appointments, professional, polite communication, effective licensed agent handoff. Okay, right. Yeah, Tracy is an ISA. However, she needs to deepen her lead qualification. She needs to ask more questions on the phone. She needs to anchor her next steps, obviously. So this is just talking to setting appointments. She's doing a good job at that. But when she sets next steps, she is not setting them in a defined way. And then she needs to reframe objections and use polite value-driven language, right? So now I know this is exactly what I need to pay attention to over all of these conversations, which allows us to get there very, very quickly. So the workflow for you guys as you use Shilo, my preferred workflow is before you start your day, you come in, you click on Shilo Insights. Shilo will tell you what you need help with. And if it says, okay, I need help setting clear and specific next steps. Okay, great. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look for some calls where I did not set defined next steps, for example, or a next step was just like not created at all. I'm going to click apply. I'm going to go to calls. I'm going to pick one of these calls out and I'm going to try to get a 5-star call on it now, right? And now I'll be warmed up, ready for the day, and know exactly what I should focus on moving forward. And because of that focus on quality of conversation, at that point, your appointment set rate will increase as a result. So, Robert, that is mostly everything that I wanted to show today. But do you feel like I missed anything that I should be touching on that I did not?
Well, it was a lot. So
Yep.
let's go through, first of all, a couple questions. Is there a mobile app for this?
There will be very soon. So we
Okay.
will be having the ability for Shilo to come into you can access it just by going to app.shilo.ai on your mobile phone, but we'll have a native mobile app because you'll be able to bring Shilo into the in-person appointment as a note taker for you here by the end of the year, which is going to be fun.
Got it. And then I know this integrates with Follow Up Boss. Does it integrate with any other CRMs?
It does. So it integrates with Bold Trail, Sierra Interactive, Go High Level, and soon to be Sync and Lofty.
There you go. All right. And then are these recordings retrievable and able to send to coaches or business partners?
They sure are. So by the very default, people do not have access to your calls that you place. So agents don't have access to other agents' phone calls. However, if I went into here and I wanted to go, so your coaches, people that have an admin account will be able to see your conversations and be able to give you feedback on those things. But if you wanted to share one specifically, you just click the share button up here at the top and then click copy link. And now anybody that's got a Shilo login will be able to see that call. So you can even use that as bragging rights. We've seen agents get a 5-star call and drop it in their team Slack and be like, hey guys, check this out. I just got my first 5-star call, which is a lot of fun.
There you go. Perfect. And just so everyone knows, we are, and there are a couple other things I want you to go over, Justin, but just so everyone knows, one of the things that we're going to do with Shilo, and I got this from Justin, is kind of gamifying and making this fun. So we are going to have competitions for who gets 5-star calls, who gets the most 5-star calls. As a matter of fact, I'm going to steal, I think it was Levi who has the WWE belt.
Yeah.
Is that Levi who has that?
That's Whistle, but yeah.
Whistle has they made a WWE belt, and whoever gets the most calls for that week gets the belt. So we're gonna do
The most 5-star calls. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, because we're so large, we can't by the time we pass the belt from Bay Area to San Diego, that would be the week. So we're gonna do it like on a monthly basis, and whoever gets the most calls at our monthly connect is gonna get their belt. Right. So they'll have access to that for the championship belt. So we're going to have a lot of fun with it in terms of that. So lots of great things. Another question was if you do have a no-show on an appointment or a lead goes cold, and I'm wondering why, would this be a good area to look?
Correct. Yeah. So a lot of that is going to get sussed into, okay, did you provide any clear value for the reason why the appointment was set in the first place? A really surefire way, especially for internet leads, to get no-showed is just to answer the phone and set the appointment and then stop the conversation there, right? Because at that point, your only value to that human being is opening a door, and it's very easy for them to no-show you, right? So Shilo will help you diagnose that stuff. And normally that comes around providing value of the appointment itself, not just, hey, cool, I got to set up at 1 o'clock on Thursday. It's, hey, all right, I got to set up on 1 o'clock on Thursday. And once we get there, what we're going to do is obviously we're going to walk through the house, and I'm going to kind of show you all the nooks and crannies of it. But what I would love to do is kind of unpack the process to make sure that you feel educated walking into the buying experience here. And I'll take down your criteria, and we'll create a really awesome home search of not just the homes that are available on the wide market, but even off-market listings or, whatever the value USP is, right?
That's great. Is this in English only?
No, it operates in 15 different languages. So most of the languages that you guys are going to run across over there are going to be supported, even Hindi and Mandarin and some other ones. But like your main ones, your English, Spanish, French, all of those work perfectly.
I can't wait to coach agents who use it in Mandarin. Excited for that version of it.
Cantonese is another one that it works in. Yeah. So
all these. I'm going to add, and there's a couple other questions. I'm going to answer one of them because a few of you asked, like, what's the cost of this? This is included in the Agent X program. We are paying the money as a company for this software of Shilo. We're paying for it in bulk. And so that way, if you sign up for the Agent X program, you don't have to pay for this. This is included. So just as a thought, right? Do you think with all this tool that if you were grading your calls and you could upgrade your calls and you have the ability to role play, that could help you generate one additional deal? Probably, right? See some of you thumbs up and stuff like that. Okay, so literally this could just pay for your entire Agent X program. Okay. Even if you didn't want the coaching and the social media boost and the Zillow showcase and all that stuff, this right here, it could help you increase your production by one deal, which would legitimately pay for your entire program. Like that's how I just want to highlight how amazing this program is, that we are investing all this money into stuff that if you just utilized one of the tools, you could probably pay for more than what you're paying for the program, let alone if you combine all of it. Like it's a steal of a century.
Yeah.
Are there scripts for what to say within Shilo?
The script is given to you after you make a real life phone conversation via the agent coaching, right? If you're looking for like a line by line script, we've been thinking about the ability to create those scripts for people. I know Neil, being like ex Mike Ferry, like diehard over there, loves scripts on that side. But one thing that is constant is that any script on the planet can abide by three things, which is build confidence and trust, manage objections, and set clear next steps all the time, right? So our call coaching program, our system, will abide by any script that you use. We are toying around with the idea of having a button to export a very specific script to that human being based on their 5-star calls. But right now, no, we don't have scripts that we offer people. So the scripting comes back in the agent coaching.
Well, and
Justin?
that's where everyone, just so that this is again, we have the scripts, right? We have any scripts that you want, you have that. Where this really comes into play is that now you're getting the AI aspect of it, where now you make the call and then it's giving you feedback and scripts on what to say. So you're getting the scripts that we already have, that Neil works with and all of us work with to make the calls. And now this is also giving you that AI feedback on what to say as well. So you're getting the best of both worlds. Neil, were you going to say something?
Oh, you're muted,
You're
Neil.
muted, Neil.
Sorry. Basically, what you already said, that we've got, I don't know, 500 scripts, maybe more, but most agents don't use our script because they think their script's better. However, in most cases, I use this personally. I bought it, paid for it. I worked Justin for, I don't know, 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
I think this is great stuff. And even what you just showed me now, which is more than you were doing even then, is really awesome. But in order to get this, you have to be in coaching through the company, correct, Robert?
Yeah, you have to be involved in the Agent X program. And just so you all know, right? And I don't think Justin's going to be upset at me for saying this, and if he is, I apologize in advance. The way Shilo works, it's really built for large teams or corporations. So, for some people go like, well, how much would I have to pay to get this myself? The cost that you would have to pay to get this yourself, if you paid for it yourself and paid for one Zillow showcase listing, you're legitimately already at the cost for the Agent X program.
Yeah.
So you might as well join that program, because you would get access to this, you get your Zillow showcase, and then you get the boost and all the other stuff that are involved with it. So that's how Shilo is built. So that's why it's like you have to be a part of the program to get it, because cost wise, it's just more efficient for you to be involved with that anyways.
Also, there are other softwares you use, CRMs, but you really have to be plugged into Follow Up Boss. And since we provide Follow Up Boss at no charge, which is a standalone Follow Up Boss, is a couple $100 a month with the phone call and stuff like that. So you've got to use the Follow Up Boss. But Kristen asked a question: how do you have it monitor your business calls but not your personal calls? If you're calling through Follow Up Boss, they're going to record a call, and they're going to give you an opinion of how you did. If you make a personal call, don't call through Follow Boss, and there's that solves the problem, right, Justin?
Yep, exactly. So use your personal phone number for personal calls, use a Follow Boss number for real estate calls. And that also gives you can't improve what you can't measure, and you can't measure the conversations that are happening on your personal cell phone. So even me here over at Shilo, we have a homegrown version that is sitting on this Zoom call right now, even grading me, basically, right? So like, I'm not going to go use some other, I'm not going to go use some other tool, and our team is not going to use some other tool, because it helps me look back and go, geez, yeah, Justin, you were too long-winded. This needed to improve. Like, I'm taking this feedback myself, and I use the company tools in order to get that feedback. So,
Justin, on that point, you're doing a fabulous job of eye contact on this call. Seriously. So
No, he does. He does. It freaks me out sometimes.
No, you really are doing a fabulous job of eye contact and staying connected to the video. My question is, can your system also track that and give us a report on that kind of stuff? You know, like the body language, et cetera, et cetera.
Not quite yet, because we're not using visuals in the version of Shilo, right? That you have. My version of Shilo isn't even actually listening to my. It's not even looking at the video. It's just listening to the words that I say on these conversations.
Got it.
Body language stuff gets interesting. I guess like you could set up something that's gonna like video you as you have conversations. I'm not sure. We haven't crossed that bridge quite yet. So,
or just record this on Zoom and play it into AI, and AI has spit out what's going on.
yeah, exactly. And Melissa, yeah, you guys are in California, so yes, it does. The person does need to know, but Follow Boss takes care of that disclosure for you guys.
So, and then just one other thing, because I want you to show the stuff that's coming out in November, because our thing starts November anyways. But one other question was on here: do you need Follow Up Boss to do this? No, you don't need Follow Up Boss to utilize this program. It helps, right? It makes
Well,
it.
I will preface it with, like, in the implementation that we're talking about here in the Agent X program, yeah, you do need to utilize the full
Okay.
Realty Services Follow Up Boss
I
in order
wouldn't
to
do
use
this
it.
without Follow Up Boss.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
And you get it, as Neil said, you get it at no cost.
Anyway,
So
who cares?
yeah, that's not an added fee. But just a real quick showcase what you showed me the other day of what's coming November 1st, because they would get access to this as well, since this starts in November.
Yeah, so not November 1st, kind of second week in November-ish. It's in
Sure.
private beta right now, but
Sometime between now and the end of the year.
that is so. So imagine a world where, like, after you get done with a conversation, after you get done with an in-person meeting, your CRM was updated for you, right? There was nothing necessary for you. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to trigger anything. That all of that data would get back to your CRM. Well, that is what we are building. So let me show you a good example of this over here. So what you're seeing here is inside of Shilo, inside of a Follow Up Boss account. What's really awesome about this is that, okay, check this out. After a conversation happened, a summary note was created automatically. You can click show more, it'll get you to Shilo. It's creating tasks automatically. It's creating appointments automatically. And better yet, it's enriching the contact record with marketing segmentation data that I bet you are not recording anywhere. Things like their cell only, this is their time frame, the language that they spoke, suggested stage change, do they have dogs, you can't say family because you can't discriminate based on that, or classify based on that would be the better word for it, but we can say like multiple occupants in a property. Are they a mortgage opportunity, a cash buyer, are they an investor? All of that information, we're going to be enriching the contact record for you. So that way you guys can build smarter and smarter smart lists here in Follow Up Boss to follow up with the people that are most likely to transact for you guys, right? So we're going to be doing that automatically for you, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I won't share too much, but those features are going to become very, very powerful for you as time goes on. So,
Hey, Michael Garcia has a question, Justin.
yeah, Michael, go for it.
Okay, so I dial with Mojo through my follow-up boss. Will it be recording those phone calls as it goes?
So no, it's not going to capture your Mojo conversations. And unfortunately, that's
Okay.
not an us thing. That is a Mojo thing as it stands right now.
That's
We
cool.
have had some teams build custom integrations that push the Mojo calls over to Follow Up Boss when they complete. Because as long as a call gets registered in Follow Up Boss with a call recording, we can pick it up from there. So.
Okay, I got you. And I just signed up for the Agent X on the Agent X resource guide.
Sweet.
Good, baby.
Will they be reaching out to me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
As long
We're
as you
gonna
put a
get
credit card
we're-
in, they're going to call you in a minute.
Yeah,
Credit
no
card.
problem. No, so how the Agent X is going to work is that we're going to get everyone signed up here in the next. I mean, they can sign up whenever, but whoever signs up in the next week or so, we're going to have a Shilo onboarding, so that way everyone can knows how to get access to Shilo and all that stuff as well. So that way we're all ready to go before November. So that'll be happening probably in the next week. So yeah, anyone who signs up, we're going to make sure you get everyone onboarded for that. And then just one quick thing, because someone sent this to me privately on the notes on terms of for the Agent X and paying for that, we'll send out more details on it. Actually, an email went out today, but I'll send out another one. There is an opportunity to pay through this through your commissions. So that way, you don't have to come up with the monthly cost every single month. You can just pay it through commissions. So we have the breakdown for that as well.
And one thing
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of confusion on, like, what happens if I call through FUB, but then, like I'm on my cell phone or something like that. If you didn't know, Follow Boss has a best in class mobile application. Like, it's really,
Fabulous.
really, really good. So you can make phone calls directly out of the Follow Boss application. And when people ring you back, what's awesome about it is that it'll show up as a Follow Boss call. So you'll know that this is somebody calling you about real estate stuff, opposed to what happens on your personal cell is you're like, I don't know who the heck this person is, whatever. Now you're playing that like Russian roulette game of like, is this somebody trying to sell you a used car warranty, or is this like actually somebody calling about real estate, right? And then I saw about some of the disclosure stuff. So we aren't actually recording phone calls. That happens on the Follow Boss side, but Follow Boss has a disclosure that will automatically get tagged, and it's very easy. You can listen to it inside of Follow Boss, but it just says this call is being recorded, and then that's it, right? So the disclosure happens automatically for you guys, and if you are worried about that disclosure hurting your conversion rates, we have a lot of data if you want to have that conversation from huge California teams and Florida teams utilizing Shilo with the call disclosures on, and they are having their best years ever in this real estate market. So we have the data behind it not hurting people's conversion rates, but if I had a general idea as to why it's not hurting conversion rates, it's because when people we're getting spammed by God knows how many people at this point on phone calls. But when you talk to a reputable company, what do all of them have? A disclosure before that phone call connects. Every single reputable company on the planet has one of those at this point, right? So at that point, it actually, especially for somebody that you've only been communicating with over text or email, okay, great. Now it actually proves legitimacy. So.
No, my experience with that is not even an issue.
Yeah.
Anyone I've ever asked, can I record this? Absolutely, because they believe that what you're going to say is going to be accurate and honest, truthful, because there's going to be a recording.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually, Neil's point actually makes people feel better, because if you do screw up, they know that there's a recording of it as well.
100%.
Don't be scared of that, though. If you're an agent
that's the
listening.
truth, right? If I say this call is
Right.
being recorded,
Just have
I'm
your
essentially
recording.
taking the risk. I'm taking the liability that says, hey, I know whatever I say is going to be true and accurate, because if it's not, we've got it on paper. So,
and just a reminder, real estate agents can't get in trouble for much on the phone. Like, just don't redline. Don't call people back. They asked you not to call them back, and don't inappropriately quote people interest rates, and you'll be just fine. Actually, so.
Or yeah, you said don't redline, right?
Yeah, don't redline.
Okay.
That's like number one. Don't redline, and don't
Yeah, say that
inappropriately
6
talk about
times.
interest rates. Yes.
Yeah. Good stuff. I got to tell you all, and hopefully you got this, because I know it was a lot in just that time frame, but the ability to make calls and on the spot get feedback and know the quality of the call you made is pretty remarkable. And so this gives you the opportunity to get yourself into more 4-star, 5-star calls, which is how you're going to convert more transactions. And I know some of you go, yeah, but I'm not really a big prospector. Okay, but you call your database. You call your past clients your centers of influence. And so if you're not getting the return that you think you should be getting from your database, I'll bet some of those calls are probably 1 and 2 star calls.
Or
You
you're
know,
struggling,
I'll
struggling with
bet,
like seller price reduction conversations, and Shiloh's
Yeah.
listening to all
on
those
on that
conversations.
point, Robert and Justin, I listen to calls all day long. Most of the people are talking to past client and Sphere, or they're working on a price reduction or something. Most people, unless they're practiced at this, are horrible at this. They're horrible talking to their client. Hey, John, what about getting a drink tonight? La, la, la. Jeez, stop it. You want to make some money in this business? This is a way to do it.
yeah. So I don't know. And obviously I think, Justin, while you were talking, I think we had like 25 people sign up for the Agent X program. So
That's
it
amazing.
clearly made an impact.
Besides
So
Justin and me, that's pretty good.
Well, honestly,
So,
like with or without, like even Robert, you said it correctly. Like if you just listen to what Shilo tells you, you will close an extra deal. Like I will take that ink for you at that point, right? But more than that, a team or a brokerage actually putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to agent development is as rare as it comes in the real estate industry. And we operate with the biggest, most formidable real estate organizations that exist on the planet. And I'm not just giving lip service to that. Like, this is a really big deal that they're paying for Shilo for you. They're paying for these things for you. Like, that's really freaking awesome, because you don't see that anywhere else. It's just like, hey, here's some leads and best of luck, basically. Yeah, like that's it. And you're lucky if they even do something like that, right? But actually investing in agent development is something that is so thoroughly rare in our industry, and it's what's going to create agents that stand the test of time. So, like, honestly, props to you guys for doing this. So
yeah, no, absolutely, man. It was great. And one more shout out to Justin, because I also learned from him when we were gonna figure out how to launch this to the agents. My thought was, well, what if we give them a certain number of hours, right? If you sign up for Agent X, you get a certain number of hours of Shilo, and he's like, don't do that, because he said, because what he's found is the agents who are making the calls, if they get a 3-star call, they're going to keep calling to get 4 stars and 5 stars, and you don't want to limit those people. You want them to have unlimited access. And I think he told me that just so I would spend more money, but that's okay.
nah, you
And
just don't. You
so,
don't starve the racehorse. You do not starve the racehorse. If
but
somebody's a racehorse, you keep
that's
feeding
why
them.
we just said, you know what? It's unlimited. You
Yeah.
sign up for this, you get access to it. So if you make the calls, you get to utilize the feedback, because it's like, hey, if you're going to learn from this, we as a company see that you're going to produce more, which is obviously then how we make some money, just to be quite honest with you. Because even though you're paying a little bit for Agent X, as I told you, we legitimately are not profiting 1 cent from Agent X. That is all stuff that we've invested. We just asking you to help us a little bit on the end. But this program, and that's why I wanted to have this class, is because I obviously, a lot of you, because if you signed up, you see just this alone is worth the cost, let alone all the other stuff that you're getting. So, and when I first met with Justin, he showed this to me, I was like, game changer for sure. And now what's coming down some point between now and the end of the year, for now, it automatically syncs all those notes. Think about the time that we're now saving to just go make more calls or whatever you're going to do. I don't know, man. I love it. I'm a fan. So very, very excited about it. All right. Any other questions before Mr. Benson leaves us? All right.
I don't
Very
see
good.
any other ones in there. So
All
yeah.
right, I'm gonna post the link one more time in the chat box. I mean, it's on the agent resource guide, but if you need the link to Agent X, it's right there. It goes over all the details, the cost, everything, how you can just simply sign up for it. We're gonna start November 1st, but we're gonna do the Shilo onboarding. I'll have to get with Justin either next week or the week after, so that way you're fully prepared for it November 1st. But yeah, oh man, I got even more excited after your presentation. I was already excited. So, very good.
Yeah. And don't let price stop you guys on something like this. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't have a horse in this race. Like, I'm not getting paid by Robert to push Agent X or anything at the end of the day. But I think it's smart that it's not free because people don't take seriously the things that are free. So having some kind of financial commitment keeps everybody honest. And we do it the same way at Shilo. We literally never give Shilo away for free because people won't take it seriously if they're getting it for free. So I think that it's the best way to go about this. So
I agree. All right, buddy. Look, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was recorded, so we'll make sure to get this uploaded for everyone, so that way I'm sure you can utilize it again. But then again, next week or the week after that, we'll let everybody know about the Shilo onboarding, so you can log in, you can get access to it, really start playing with it, see how it works, and it'll start helping out with your business. So, and then if you have any other questions that come up later, just reach out to me. I'll pass them on to Justin and make sure that we get all that stuff answered for you. All right. All right, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank 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 you for all of you that are being on here and excited to get this launched in the next couple weeks.
yes, thank you guys so much for
All right,
having me. So
Justin.
great to see some familiar
Good work.
faces out there.